state calls the next witness. It is Mr. Tumelo Brian Madala. He's witness number 10 on the we still busy with the people who were in the house when the incident happened.
Yes.
Sorry, my lord, to interject. This light is blinding us.
Oh, that one?
Yes.
So, ngaba nenkinga yini yokukhuluma iqiniso yokuthatha isifungo sokukhuluma iqiniso. Maybe proceed your motion.
Yeah, let's proceed.
Ngaba nenkinga ukuthi uthathe isifungo sokukhuluma iqiniso mfethu?
No, anginankinga.
No objection in taking a prescribed oath, my lord. Uyafunga ke ukuthi ubufakazi ozokuthula la enkantolo kuba iqiniso liphelele iqiniso lodwa uma ngabe kunjalo phakamisa sokudla isandla inkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Inkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Oath taken, my lord.
Thank you.
The court pleases, my lord. Mr. Madala, do you know the deceased in this matter, Mr. Senzo Meiwa?
Madlalo yamazi umufikile licala ubaba uSenzo Meiwa. Yes, I know him.
Can you just briefly explain to the court how you know the deceased?
Ungakwazi ukuthi ustatisele ukuthi umazi kanjani ke umufi?
Yebo, Senzo sikhule nawo umngani wami omkhulu.
We grew up together. He was my best friend.
Safunda esikoleni esisodwa.
And we went to the same school.
Sadlala ibhola sidlala i-team e1 London Cosmos.
And we played for the same soccer team, London Cosmos.
And where did you grow up together?
Na khona nonke kuphi?
Sikhulele eMlazi.
In Mlazi.
And do you know where the soccer career of the deceased took him to?
Uyakwazi ukuthi mhlawumbe ke ukudlala kwakhe ibhola kwamthatha kwambeka kuphi?
Yebo, ugcine esedlala eOrlando Pirates.
He eventually played for Orlando Pirates.
In what position?
Ubedlala yiphi position?
Very goalkeeper.
He was a goalkeeper.
Do you know where the deceased lived in Johannesburg?
Uyakwazi ukuthi behlala kuphi la eGoli?
Yebo, qale wahlala eBarclay, wasehlala eMalbathi.
He started off by staying in Baklu, then he went on to stay in Malbaton.
And did you often pay him visits at these places where he stayed?
Yebo, ngimvakashela.
Yes, I used to go visit him.
And besides for Orlando Pirates team, did he play for any other team?
Ngaphandle kwe-Orlando Pirates ngabe khona i-team ake wayidlalela phambili?
Ezingeni elikhulu cha.
Not in the big league, no.
But for instance, the national
team. Say that he was a national goalkeeper of South Africa.
Yeah. National team. Do you know if he played for the national team?
Yeah, we say captain Bafana Bafana.
He was now the captain at the Bafana Bafana team, soccer team.
Now, on the 25th of October 2014, did the deceased, your friend, make contact with you?
Nge 25 October 2014, umufi umngani wakho uye waxhumana nawe?
Ya wangifonela ntambama nje.
He phone called me in the afternoon, yes.
Yes, and what was the purpose of that phone call?
Isizathu ke sokuthi akufonele ngenhloso.
Bekuwukuthi sizoya ephathini wangifonela ngize sizoya ephathini yakamamuntu lisisangile.
He phone called me and invited me to a party that is Mahamuta's party that would be hosted in Sunning Hill.
And at that stage, on the 25th of October 2014, where were you?
When we were picking Alessaskati, 25 October 2014,
Bengisendlini ekhaya eMlazi.
I was at home in Mlazi.
Yes, what happened further?
Kwase kwenzakalani? Kuya phambili.
Angifoneleni kwakhe angifoneleni ngitshela ukuthi ephathini then ngamtshela ukuthi angeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngihambe ngize khona namhlanje because bese kulate.
Now, he phone called me indicating to me that we'll be going to the party. I then replied by saying that it is not going to be possible for me because it is already late.
Wafona okwesibili sengibuza ukuthi sengitholile i-message efuna ngathi cha ngakayitholi.
He then phone called me for the second time, inquiring from me as to whether have I already received the message. And I said that no, I haven't received the message as yet.
So wasethi angivale.
What message was he referring to?
Obekhuluma ngamuphi umlayezo kanye i-message?
Angithi bezongifakela imali yokuthi ngiyiwe ngiyelele.
He was going to deposit me some money so that I can then be able to go to the place where I was invited to.
Yes.
So ngamtshela ukuthi message ayangeni wasethi hayi awuvale ke ngizobuye ngibuyele kuwena.
I then explained to him, I said that the message, I haven't received the message as yet. He then said that I should hang up the phone and then he will come back to me a little later.
Did he then come back to you?
Waphinde wabuyela kuwe.
Engakabuyeli back yangena imessage kimi.
Before he could come back to me, I then received a message.
Yes. And what was the effect of that message?
Manje ke lo mlayezo ke wenzani?
Kwakuyinamba zemali ziyaningi kwakuyinamba la ngizokhipha khona imali ne because wayengifakele 500 yeah 500 if I'm not mistaken yeah.
There were numbers of digits that had to do with the withdrawal of the money. He has already deposited, in fact he had deposited 500 rands to me, or he had sent me 500 rands to me.
But ayifakanga kuye imali.
But it wasn't him. The money was not deposited by himself.
Yes. Who deposited the money?
Yeah, okay.
It was Kelly that deposited the money.
Kelly who?
Kelly Tumelo.
Did you know her at that stage?
Ngaleso sikhathi ubumazi.
Yeah, bese ngimazi.
I knew her at that stage.
As who?
Ubumazi njengobani?
Njengomuntu othandana noSenzo.
As a person that was in a love relationship with Senzo.
Yes. Now, after receiving this deposit of 500 rand, what did you do?
Mawuthola le deposit 500 rand wase wenzani ke?
Ngavuka ekuseni ukuthi ngakasho umfana wasekhaya.
I woke up in the morning accompanied by my brother, my little brother,
My elder brother.
Yeah.
Oh, on which date? On which date is this now?
On the 26th.
It was on the 26th.
On the Sunday.
It was on a Sunday.
Yes. You don't need to go into details about what happened. Did you then travel to Johannesburg?
Wase uyaya ke eGoli?
Ngafika Durban station. Amabhasi engekho asekuseni.
Now I got to the Durban station and there were no buses in the morning.
Yes.
So wakhona umunye usisi shoot khona lapha Durban station wayefuna abantu wayehamba imoto encane efuna abantu abaya eGoli.
Now there was one lady right there in the vicinity of the Durban station who was looking for people that would be traveling to Joburg or to Gauteng. She was driving a smaller vehicle.
Yeah. Wayehamba ngeHyundai i30.
I think it was Hyundai i30 that she was driving.
Yes. Did you then travel with the lady?
wasohamba naye.
Yeah, but ngaqale ngaba nokuthiwa cause umuntu engingamazi. Until
Yeah.
kuze kufika abanye abantu ke approach abanye abantu.
Okay.
Letho la ngaya khona kuye ke nami ke sagibela ko sahamba naye.
Initially, I was a bit concerned or frightened because I was the only person. She comes and she says that she needs people that she can go with. So I was a bit skeptical initially to can go with her until such time that there were other people that were going to go together with her, or travel together with her. Then I also went to her. Yes.
Sahamba na losis ngamcela ukuthi angisize because la ngangiya khona senza athi angihle khona uthi angihle kwi-off ramp spread view.
Now I explained to this lady and I said to her that she should assist me because Senzo had said to me that the spot where I should be alighting the vehicle, it is the off ramp, the spread view off ramp.
So mangifika lapho kwi-off ramp ngahlika then mangihlika lo siswangibeka nje kwi-off ramp la ngahlika ngahamba ngeenyawo for distance enyana ngafika erobotini because Senzo ayethe uzongithola erobotini.
Now she actually offloaded me at that off ramp, that is the spread view off ramp, and I walked a little distance to the robots because Senzo had indicated that he was going to find me at the robots.
Yes, just a minute. And what time were you dropped off at the spread view off ramp?
Wehliswa ngubani isikhathi khona lapha nekuleya off ramp yase spread view?
Noma nganayo isho yasi isikhathi but bese kuntambama babo ma 5 or past 5 lapho nje but anginayo isho isikhathi but bese ma 5 I think.
I'm not really sure about the time. It was in the afternoon, late in the afternoon, around 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
And what was the state of your health at that stage regarding your feet?
Ngaleso sikhathi ke ubunjani ke emzimbeni ukuphila kwakho mayelana ke nemilenze yakho kanye ilokho njani inyawo zakho.
Bengihamba ngama crutches ngaleso sikhathi.
During that time I was using crutches to walk.
Yes, what was wrong?
Inking bekuphi?
Bengilimele emnweni lo onyawo lo mkhulu ubhoso ngabeka kanjani yeah.
I had sustained an injury on a big toe.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka?
Mangifika lapha erobotini angimanga isikhathi esiningi.
When I got to the robot, I didn't wait for a long time there.
Then ngabona imoto iqhamuka ke X6 yakho Senzo.
Then I saw the vehicle appearing right there at the spot where I was. And I should indicate to the court that he's just pointed in front of him with his index finger. When he says that, then I saw the vehicle.
La ngihla khona ngathi kwi junction, I mean kwiSphambano. So babaqhamuka le side le beza kanje mina ngimile.
So they were actually oncoming. Because where I had waited for him, it was an intersection, a four-way kind of an intersection. So they came from an opposite direction.
Yes. The type of vehicle, can it just be placed on record?
Yeah, uyamba ngi X6 BMW.
He was driving an X6 BMW.
Yes.
Mabefika ke bebe4 emotweni.
Upon their arrival, there were 4 inside of the vehicle. It was Senzo that was driving, and it was Kelly on the passenger seat that is next to him. The seat behind, or at the back seat, it was Zandi and Mtogo.
You've already mentioned that you knew Miss Kelly Tumelo. Did you know Zandi at that stage?
Yeah, bengimazi ukuthi sikaze like sihlangane but bengimazi.
I knew her even though we had never met, but I knew her.
And Mtogo?
Umtogo yena?
Yeah, umthongo ngiyamazi le. Umthongo ngimazi ngoSenzo in fact because mina noSenzo sazana ekudala then makamba isikhathi uSenzo athandana noMandisa then ke kwayimasazi umthongo.
I
Kwayimangazi
knew,
umthongo. Yeah.
I knew Mtogo through Senzo because we had befriended each other for quite some time, myself and Senzo. And then when Senzo got into a relationship with Mandisa, that is how the eventuality of knowing Mtogo came to be.
So bese fana umngani wami ngisho kanjalo na bese umngani wami.
Umthongo.
Yeah.
Now, Mtogo, I might as well say that he was my friend. He was like my friend.
What is his surname? Can you just place it on the...
Surname ka Mtogo?
Mthokozi Sithwala.
Mtogo Sithwala.
Yes, may I proceed?
Ungaqhubeka.
From lapho ke mabengithatha sadlula kwenye indawo kuthiwa kwaKwembu yayibhala uKwembu because nganothisa leyo nto ayibhala uKwembu. Kwembu.
Naya khona kuleyo ndawo.
Yeah.
They took me from that spot, and then we proceeded to a place that was written Kwembu.
Indawo ethengisa utshwala.
It's a place that is selling liquor.
Yes.
Masifika lapha because uSenzo ngikhumbula wayevula la echeck imali wathola ukuthi akanayo imali ne la emotweni wathola ukuthi akanayo imali.
When we got there, I remember that Senzo actually opened, and the witness is demonstrating sort of on the armrest.
Yes. Yes.
He opened and he realized that he doesn't have the money.
So uZando wabuza uSenzo ukuthi akekho umuntu onemali yocash la uzomnyaka uzibengenayo imali yocash. uZando waofarisha ku wakhipha imali 400 yeah 200 laba uthiwa babo 400 yeah. Okay,
Senzo yena ubuzana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then uZando waofarisha 400.
Now, Senzo then inquired from within the vehicle, from the occupants who were inside of the car, isn't there any person here that's got a cash in their possession? And then Zandi was the one to offer a 400 rands cash.
Then I think uSenzo wayefuna ukuphuma emotweni ayo uthenga ngaphakathi athi okay la angaphuma uSenzo because bazobe bemfuna imali ngaphakathi.
Now, I think the intention of Senzo was to alight the vehicle and go by himself, to go and buy inside of that place. Then Kelly said that, no,
Yes.
you shouldn't go.
It's fine. Did you then buy the drinks?
Yeah, kwangena umthoko no Zandi bayothenga.
Mtogo and Zandi went inside to go and buy.
Yes, may I proceed?
Ungaqhubeka?
Okay, then sasuka lapho saya komunye umuzi because bengakawazi ngalesi sikhathi oyi-face break.
We then took her from there, went to another house. At that time, I didn't know that house. I wasn't familiar with that house. It was a face brick house that we went to.
Safisa pa because umuzi wakhona awuna gate, unesikhala se-gate but alikho igate. Ubuyeliwe but alikho igate.
Now, we got to that house. There is only a hedge, not the barring of the gates. There is an opening for the gate, but the barring is not there.
We'll show you photo 2 of exhibit 2. If you can use that photo to illustrate your evidence. We'll come right. The just come on.
Yeah, ikhona khona la.
Well, this is the very place that I'm referring to. A light has been shown on the photo
Yeah.
at that house.
Yes.
Photo number 2, a light has been shown right onto the house.
Right, you may proceed. What happened upon your arrival at that house?
Kwenzakalani ke masenifika khona laphana kule yandlu?
Masifika safike sathola uma wakhona ne endlini yaphethe umntwana.
When we got into the house, we found the mother inside of the house, and she was carrying the child.
Yes.
After later sabingelela ke wasenzela ukudla.
We greeted, and she prepared some meal for us.
And where did you go to in the house?
Waya kuphi okanye naya kuphi ngapho ngasendlini
Besihleli dining.
dining room.
Yeah.
We're
behleli
sitting
dining.
we're sitting in the dining room.
We're just going to show you photos. If you can just illustrate the photos to show, to indicate where you were seated.
Uzositshengisa nje ukuthi uhlele kuphi na ithombe ezovela nje.
Photo 59 of Exhibit D.
Yeah, ibonakala.
It is depicted in this picture. There was photo 57 where he said that it is visible.
Yeah, see that.
Okay, la 59. Okay. Then
Mina bengihleli la ngathi khona into epink khona ngala ekuqaleni.
you see where there is a pink item there. That would be the first seat of that couch.
Then
That
mas-
is where I was seated.
Is it closer to the TV stand?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yes.
Then next to me ngala ka right la. Bekuhleli umthoko.
Now, on the middle seat of the couch, Mtogo was seated there.
Yes.
Then eceleni kwamthoko ngala bekuhleli uSenzo ngala eceleni kwamthoko.
Now, next to Mtogo, on the far right of the couch, it was Senzo that was seated there.
Yes, we can maybe go to photo 56, which is a bigger version of photo 50. Photo 58. 58.
Then la bekuhleli uSenzo.
A light has been shown on the
Eceleni
very,
kwakhe la kuhleli uKelly.
okay. A light has been shown on the first seat of the couch. That looked like a couch that is separable. It was Senzo sort of in the middle, and the very end of that couch, the very first seat of the couch, it was Kelly that was seated there.
And if photo 64 can be shown to you. Yes.
La eqaleni opposite nami bekuhleli umaka Kelly.
Now, at that first seat of the couch, which was the person that was sitting there, was seated opposite to myself, from where I had seated. It was Kelly's mother that was seated there.
In other words, we're in relation to the TV stand.
Futhi ke
i-TV stand bika-right kwakhe makhe because behleli opposite nami lamasofa ayi-2 abhekene kanje.
Now, these two couches are actually situated opposite to one another, or positioned opposite to one another. Now, the TV stand was on her right. It was on her right-hand side, because she had directly sat opposite to me.
Yes.
Then next to yena uma kakhe behleli uZandi la.
Now, next to Kelly's mother, there is the middle, the light has been shown on the middle
yes.
seat of the couch. That was Zandi. Zandi was seated there.
Yes. You may proceed to say a meal was served, and then what happened?
So-ke ukudla, nanikeza ukudla.
Then emva kwalokho nalo mfana wafika lapha khona.
Thereafter, there was a young man that came right there at that house.
Yes.
Mfana kaChico because nami ngeza ngoSenzo.
Now, this is Chico's son. I actually heard it from Senzo.
Yes, and the surname?
Isurname yakhe bekubani?
Wakathwala.
He is also Twala. Sorry, he is Twala.
Yes.
Should naye waprepare ukudla because ufike after thina sesidlile. So uma I think uZandi uma wakhe wamenzela ukudla. I think uZandi mangasima wakhe bithi uma wakhe wamenzela ukudla. Then wadla ke because besiphuza thina.
We had already finished eating at the time that he arrived. And then I should think Zandi, between Zandi and her mother, one of them actually prepared food for him. But during that stage, we were now taking some drinks.
And where was he seated?
Yena ubehleli kuphi?
If photo 64 can be shown.
Ngafika hlala la yena iceleni le duze la.
No, he came and sat on that first.
Duze mongena nje iminyango la right up la.
As you just enter through the door on your right, that first seat of the couch, the corner seat of the couch, next to the heater there, that is where he was seated.
Yes, you may proceed.
Futhi emva kwesikhashana nje I think wasenzo baphuma bayothenga something eshop because uhamba noKelly.
Now, after a while, I should think Senzo and Kelly went out to go buy something.
Because enye izinto aphathiswa zona I think I'm not sure made lemon because uma wakhe that day wine flu.
I think one of the items that he or she was supposed to go and buy there was a mad lemon. If I recall well, the mother on that day had a flu.
Yes.
Should sahleli emva kwesikhashana because sasibukela ibhola sasibuka igame yeManchester neChelsea.
Now, we were seated
Manchester
watching
United.
a soccer match. It was Manchester and Chelsea.
Futhi emva kwesikhashanyana nje kwangena abantu kwangena umuntu oyi1 wamaphambi exactly
Yes. Just before you get to that,
I'm going to sing okay?
what time did this person that you described as Chico's Twala's son, what time did he arrive there?
Lo othi bekungani kaChico Twala uye wafika ngobani isikhathi yana mhlawumbe?
angeke ngikuzwazi uqinisekisa isikhathi ke kulokho but wafika nje sesiqedile ukudla siphuza ukuthi bamenzela yena angeke ngibe neshow isikhathi but bese ku late bese kutamba amanyana bese ku late yeah.
It was already late. In the evening, late afternoon. I cannot be certain about the time of his arrival because he arrived after we had eaten and were already taking our drinks, and then we were watching the soccer match during that time, and meal was prepared for him. It was reasonably late when he arrived.
And did you have any interaction with him?
Angimkhumbuli ngisho ebingelela lapha kuthina idayini angimkhumbuli ngisho esibingelela.
I don't even remember him greeting us while we were seated in the dining room.
And did you at any stage leave the sitting room?
Ngabe uye waphuma kule sitting room lena kube nesikhathi mhlambe la uye waphuma khona kule sitting room.
Yeah, sikhona ngaphuma nomthoko in fact.
Yes, there was a stage where we left the sitting room. In an actual fact, myself and Togo left or I left together with Togo from the sitting room.
Yes, to do what?
Ukuyokwenzani?
Angithi mina ngumuntu obuyabhema so bengiyobhema ugwayi.
Well, I am a smoker, so I had gone to smoke.
Yes, where did you go to smoke?
Waya kuphi ukuyobhema?
Mawuphuma ngegate nje kwa left. Mawuphuma ngegate nje kwa left kunesigubhu ngathi isigubhu sagesi eduze kwaleso sigubhu sagesi leso.
When you exit the yard and you take your left, your immediate left, there's just a spot there that looks like an electrical substation there.
We're going to show you photo 1 of exhibit D. If you can just use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Yeah, ngaqama nje lapho between ubonda lolu nesigubhu la.
That is the very spot I appeared from, between the hedge there, and as well as that box, that electrical box.
Yes.
Ngabhema ke lapho after that ngaqama sabuyela ngaphakathi nomthoko.
I smoked, thereafter urinated, and myself and Togo went back inside.
And when you were smoking there, were you having any alcoholic drinks?
Uma ubhema ke ubu laphayana kuleso sigubhu. Ngabe ke ubusushaya amponjwana.
No besingaphethe tshwala ngaphuma nje ngikwa ukutshwa besishe ngaphathi ka siphuzile emakanini nje ngaphakathi.
No, we were not in possession of the liquor. We were not in possession of the liquor. We had left the cans inside of the house. As we went to the outside, we were not in possession of that.
Yes, what happened further?
Kwenzakalani emva
Sabuyela ngaphakathi so before singene endlini umthoko athi ngeke ungene ukugwayi kanje endlini.
We went back inside, but before we could go inside, Mtogo said that you can't go inside of the house while smelling of a cigarette like that or the smoke from what we were smoking.
So la mawungena umnyango ngasekitchen nje ungangeni ngaphakathi kunompompi ne-tape nje la ka left umnyango ma-office une-tape la ka left.
Just next to the kitchen door, before you can access the house, there is a tap close to that door.
Just a minute.
Just on your left.
I'm going to show you photo 6 of exhibit D. If you can just use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Isamo nje la.
There's a black spot on the house where the light has been shown by the witness. It says it's somewhere there.
Yes.
Somewhere there.
Yes. What happened there?
Kwenzakalani ke lapho?
Shuthi ngimi kancane ngixubhe khona la empompini ngixubhe umlomo ngiwasha izandla ne.
Now, I stood for a while. I rinsed my mouth and I also washed my hands.
Yes.
Sesisamile kanjalo. Waqhamuka uSenzo.
While we're still standing like that, then appeared Senzo.
He appeared from where?
Why come kuphi?
Angithi thina siyobhema ubebe ngaphakathi.
At the time that we had gone to smoke, they were inside of the house.
So I'm not too sure basebebuyile esitolo ne. So wayemi nje phambi komnyango thina nomthokosi ngaphandle la somewhere around la.
He appeared at the door of the kitchen. I am not too sure whether they had already came back from the shop. But then he was at the door there of the kitchen while we were standing at a particular spot just next to the precast wall there.
After yena sisamla sikhuluma nje lapha after yena kwaqhamuka uKing emva kwakhe ne.
While we were talking like that, then Kelly also came from behind him.
Yes.
So Kelly nakaqhamuka wasibuza ukuthi sesiyahamba yini.
Upon her appearance there, she then asked us, "Are we now leaving?"
Yes.
So Senzo wasethi hayi no sesizohamba but asikahambi sesizohamba kodwa.
Senzo said that we are just about to leave.
Yes.
We are not leaving as yet.
Yes.
Then
There was the
sabuyele-
discussion
sabuyele-
between Senzo and Kelly. What happened then?
Kwase kwenzakalani ke? Emva kwalokho?
No sabuyela ngaphakathi endlini.
We went back inside of the house.
Just a minute. Now, why did you go back into the house?
Inganabuyela ngasendlini.
Angisho uKelly nje bethi sesiyahamba yini. Wayethi nizohamba kanjani ngavalelisanga ne. I think ipurpose ukuthi usenza valele usendlini then mase siyahamba ke siye party.
Now, the reason behind why Kelly was actually asking as to whether are we now leaving, she was implying that are we going to be leaving without having to say goodbye? Now, that was what was expected from Senzo as well, so that he goes inside and say the goodbye.
Yes.
And emva kwalokho ke lethwe la kwaqala khona umsindo ke.
So, yeah, just a minute. When you went back into the house, what were the positions that you assumed? Where were you seated?
Yeah,
Besahleli
Besisahleli kanjalo. Besisahleli kanjalo besihleli.
We were still seated in the same positions, or at the same positions that we had initially occupied.
Yes. We proceed.
Sesisahleli kanjalo. Phela ngesikhathi singana nje sihleli kwaqhamuka umuntu la phambi kwaleli komnyango longelele dining straight.
Now, while we were seated like that, after a short while, a person appeared from the door that has got direct access into the dining room.
Just a minute. Yes. Now, before this person appeared, what were you doing there in the house?
Phambi kokuthi avele lo muntu ke beniloko nenzani endlini?
Engikhumbula ukuthi uKelly wayebuya asukuma ahlale phansi abuya liwa khona nje ukuthi into ayikhulunywa ngamabandla angeke ngiwasho amagama bekhuluma ngamabandla nje enza ama joke ngawo.
What I can remember is that Kelly would stand up and then sit down, and there was some conversation which was ongoing there. Jokes were made. It was a topic about churches, various churches that were being spoken about.
And where was Ms. Kelly Tumelo seated at that stage?
Yeah, no behleli kuphi ke.
Or where was she positioned?
Yeah, no bekuphi ngaleso sikhathi.
Ukuthi ukheli kwesinye isikhathi wayebuya ahlalela phansi inyawo igoqe kanje kwesinye isikhathi ula eceleni kwasenzo.
Now, sometimes you would sit down and cross her legs, and sometimes you would be sitting next to Senzo.
Ngesinye isikhathi utholamile lapha mula. Exactly nje la.
Sometimes you would find her standing right at that spot where the light was shown.
So you mentioned that a person appeared in the door that has direct access to the dining room. Can you indicate where that person appeared?
Uthi ke lo muntu wavela nje kulowo mnyango lo owawungena ngilo ngase-dining room. Uqhamuke kuphi lo muntu?
Photo 64 to just indicate where the person appeared.
Sizobheka ke i-photo 64 uzokwazi ukusitshengisa khona lo muntu waqhamuka kuphi.
Iyo lena.
Is this the one?
Yeah. Are you able to show
Ukuthi
on the
umnyango
photo?
ungala eceleni kweyita la ungenela khona bekamnje la.
Lo muntu
Nomnyango
ubeka
la ukuthi akubonakala kahle akunomnyango ongenela edining.
It's just that that particular spot is not properly displayed or depicted here in this picture. This is the door that actually has access into the dining room. And the witness has just pointed on the far right of that picture, next to the heater that is seen there.
Yes. We're going to show you the sketch plan. If you can maybe just indicate on that sketch plan where you saw the person.
The sketch plan in this uzokwazi ukusibonisa
Yeah.
lo muntu wambona ekhazibona.
Awayimla angithi la isekitchen mawungena la ekitchen undlula amakhabethe fridge ume la wayela phakathi nje exactly la.
Yeah, now that is the very spot where this person was standing at. One can see that there's the kitchen door, and then you walk past the cabinets in the kitchen, and as you turn to your right in the sketch plan, right there at that spot, which looks like a passage there, that's where he was.
Yes, you may proceed.
Umuntu wakhona wayephethe isibhamu esandleni esikhombe ngesibhamu.
That person was having a firearm in his hand.
Efake isigqoko enza ama-dreading.
Ungajahe, ungajahe. And there's a demonstration of the wielded firearm with the hand of the right hand of the witness. Sungaqhubeka ukuthi ubefake?
Efake isigqoko enama-dreading.
He had the dreadlocks on the head and was also wearing a hat.
Because into afika ayifuna wafika wafuna amafoni nemali enamehlo nje.
Now, one thing that he actually wanted was the phones and the money with a wielded firearm and the big eyes, or widened eyes.
Just a minute. Yes. And how did he demand cell phones and money? Which language was he using?
Imali nama cell phone ubesebenzisa luphi ulimi?
Noma ngisakhumbula kahle ukuthi wayibeka kanjengani but into engikhumbula wakhuluma isiZulu wafama phone nemali into ayifuna.
Even though my wording might not necessarily be correct, but I remember that he demanded phones and the money. He demanded phones and money.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Eish ukuthi lento yenzeka indlela kwenzeka ngakhona because lo mfana kaChico lo owayehleli la eceleni kwazandi wasuka from usofa la ehleli khona la wasuka la wamphusha lo muntu la.
See how it happened. in that this young man, or Chico's son, was seated there at the spot where the light was shown on the part of the couch. He went and he pushed and went there and pushed him.
Yeah, wampusha. Kumpusha waphuma ngomnyango.
As he pushed him, he then exited the door. Ubani uphuma ngomnyango?
Yena lo mfana kaChico.
He pushed him, and he, Chico's son, then exited the door.
And just for record purpose, if you say he pushed the person, who are you referring to?
Mawuthi wampusha or lo pushiwe ukhuluma ngobani? Ubani
Yena lo
opushiwe?
fika wasikhomba ngesibhamu lo bekenza ama-dread efaka isigqoko.
The very one that came and pointed us with the firearm, the one who had the dreadlocks and he had a hat on the head.
Wasibegqokile ijacket ngathi kwasa desk inyanga ngathi caramel.
Because he was wearing a caramelish jacket in terms of color. It looks like one of these desks here.
Ngalo ngathi desk.
Yes.
So emva kwaloko kwasukuma wonke mfana lathi nje benza lento nje ngokukhulu ukusheshsha kwasukuma wonke umuntu endlini.
That was a quick move. As he stood up and pushed him, everybody also stood up. Wasukuma wonke umuntu
Yeah.
endlini.
Yes.
Everybody that was in the house then also stood up.
Yes. And umuntu oqale ngimkhumbulayo esukuma because umuntu wabalekela la umuntu wasungena la kulomnyango oqala ukheli. Wabaleka wangena la kulomnyango oqala.
Now the first
Kamelela,
person to flee, it was Kelly. She ran and got into that bedroom that has been just pointed there at the sketch plan. That first door that is on the right of the sketch plan.
Ngabe sekusukume wonke umuntu. No Senzo wayesela yena lo muntu lo mfishane lo Madrid.
Now, because everybody had stood up now, and they had, gathered onto or at that very spot where that short person with the dreadlocks, short in terms of the height, with the dreadlocks was. Everybody went there and they gathered there. Even Senzo himself was there.
Just a minute. Yes, you may proceed.
So nje sekunalokuphushana la endlini sekusukunyiwe ngithi mina angisukumanga ngaya same time le ubona labantu bephushana la. So that's why mangiqalaza ukuthi lobe ngena la kule camera leli sengibona lo mude ke wesibili lo befake i-O4 efake i-jacket e-hood.
Now, remember Kelly also went into the bedroom that I had just pointed here on the sketch plan, and I did not immediately stand up when the rest of the people stood up. So there was some pushing now that was happening. There was some tussling which was taking place there at the spot where the first person was. And that's when I noticed the second person who was now wearing a hoodie.
Yes, where did you notice the second person?
Uye wambona ekuphi ngenkathi umbona. Wesibili.
I think lo sibili bethu jaha angazi noma wayethi ujaha ukele or in because nje osenze nje wabelisana nalo no makazandi nje belisana nalo sibhamu lo mfishane sekuqhamuka lo that's why aphushana khona no Senzo waphushana Senzo umncikise odongeni ngasesikapeni sekhishi la.
Now, I don't know the second person. Just around that, that's more or less the same spot where the first person who was being tussled against by the rest of the members of the house there. It appears to me that he may have been after Kelly, because remember Kelly went, she actually ran into that bedroom. Then there was also a stage where Senzo had pinned him against the door of the kitchen.
Right, yes.
That is on the right of the sketch plane there.
Yeah, if you can just tell the court step by step what happened. You see him there more or less where the first person was.
Ungajaha ne? Step by step angisho. Uyambona laphana la lo oqala ebekhona ngisho. That's correct. I
What
see.
happens next?
Emva kwalokho kwase kwenzakalani?
Ukuthi yonke into ayenzeka ngokusheshsha. So
You know, everything happened so fast.
ngokusheshsha. Because angazi ukuthi uSenzo wasuka nini kulo wama-threat lo.
Now,
Lo beshawa
yeah.
mawakheli nokheli noZandi.
I don't know at what stage or what time did Senzo now move away from the first person who was being fought against by the rest of the family members. That is, Kelly's mother, Zandi, everybody that was fighting the first person. I don't know when did he move from that particular spot.
Because nokheli naye wayesephumile la ngangimbonise la ekhishini ukuthi waphuma nini ebedroom angimazi.
Even Kelly herself, she had come out of the bedroom. As to when did she now leave the bedroom into the kitchen, I don't know.
Yeah, just a minute. Now, this fight that you're referring to, can you just describe it? If you say the fight that everyone else was involved in with the first person, or what are you referring to?
Ukhuluma ngani uma ukhuluma ngale mpi nyana okanye ukulwiswa kwalona wokuqala abeliswa uwo wonke umuntu.
Wathi basebeshana ukuthi babeathekwa yena lo kuqala ne because uZandi noma
Remember they were now attacking the very first one now.
so ememshanga ama-crutches wami.
Ubani obeshanga ama-crutches?
uZandi umuntu ephethe ama-crutches angani noma wakho eliphethe neli but uZandi umuntu engamkhumbula kahle because ngangizwa nomsindo wayo malishaya phezulu.
Now the crutch was also being used to hit this person. I'm not certain, but I think I saw Zandi in possession of the crutch. The thumping sound of the crutch as this person was being struck with, I could hear it. Uthi noma wakhe ngathi ubephethe
Yeah,
crutch.
bekhona noma wakhe khona lapho kulepushana okulapha ekitchen bekhona.
The crutch bephethe.
I'm not sure ngaye but umuntu engisho ngaye uZandi.
Okay.
Yeah.
If even the mother was there in that commotion or in that tussling that was taking place there, I am uncertain as to whether was she in possession of the crutch, but the person that I am certain with who used the crutch was Zandi.
Now, where was this crutch?
Ibekuphi le crutch?
Ngangiwabeke eduze nje kwe-heater. Ngidinga uma ungena emnyango wasedining la ka-right.
When buwabeke lapho?
Yeah, uma ungena nje ngena ngikhona indawo la ka-right nje la. Eceleni kune-heater lapho eceleni kwakho.
Yeah, I had put them
Yeah, nginotongo
at a spot just
Yeah.
on the right there,
Yeah.
and next to the heater,
Yeah.
against the wall there. That is where I had put them.
Yes, you may proceed.
Ungaqhubeka.
Then uSenzo ekhathi epushelwa against udonga bembamba isandla saka-right.
Now, at the time that
Ngezandla
Senzo
zombili.
had pushed or pinned him against the wall, he had grabbed or held him on the upper arm. There's a demonstration here that the upper arm was actually grabbed and pushed or pinned against the wall by Senzo. So Senzo grabbed that upper arm and pushed it against the wall or pinned it against the wall. And that was the right arm that he pinned against.
Angifuni kule ngithi second suspect because ubebambe lo.
I don't want to keep on saying
No.
the second suspect. there is this accused person that is being pointed against by the witness. He had grabbed.
Nilo.
Hello, can you stand up?
Yeah.
So,
Wayibambe lo.
yeah,
Yes, because nam
That's-
ngafinga
that's
shaya.
the very-
Yeah, nguye lo.
that's the very person. Now, Figo
Yeah.
even myself, and I went and threw some blow.
Because after ngimshayile kwaqhuma isibhamu emva kwalokho.
After I had thrown the blow against him, then there was a gunshot that went off.
Just a minute. We just want to show you photo 15 of Exhibit D. If you can just use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Asisebenzise lesithombe ke ukwazi ukusidobela isithombe.
Wayimike khona la ngasemnyango. Usenze imbambe isandla sila phezulu because wayimbambe ngesaka right.
Now, he was leaning against that wall over there.
Who is that now? Just
Usho ke ukuthi lo engikhuluma ngaye okanye ubani lo okhuluma ngaye ube
Yilo omude lo sibili lo.
there.
Lo angene osibili angamoya.
The tall one, the second one, who accessed the house, he was leaning against that door there, and Senzo had pinned him against the wall that is depicted in that picture, holding on his arm.
And in which direction was this person that you described as accused number 2 facing? And in which direction was the deceased facing?
Ulona ube bheke kuphi ubeqonde kuphi lona othi umsola wesibini kanti nomufi yena ube bheke kuphi
Lo wayibheke ngaphakathi endlini usenze imbambe isandla ebheke ngaso eface ebheke isicapha kanje. Because usenze lo wayibheke ngala usenze ebhekile.
okay usenze ube bheke isicaba lo ube flathele
Ubheke ngala,
isicaba this suspect was faced into the kitchen when Senzo was facing the door at the time that he had pinned him against the wall like that.
You say you also struck a blow. Who did you strike and where did you strike that person?
Uthi ke nawe walahlela ke lapho ubushaya.
Yeah, ngamshaya
Washaya
khona
abantu.
ngamshaya nalomuntu ngamshaya khona ebusweni emva kwaloko waqhuma ishot yesibhamu.
Now, I hit him on the face. There's a demonstration as well. The temporal area of the face. I hit him on the face. And there was a clenched fist. There's a clenched fist, which is now demonstrating that that person was hit on the temporal area of the face. That very tall one.
Yes, you also, yes.
So,
So after
and then
And just for record
Emva kwalokho,
purposes, who's this?
kwaseqhuma isibhamu.
yeah, kwaqhuma isibhamu emva kwaloko then
Thereafter, there was a gunshot that went off.
nalisibhamu sakhona saqhuma sangivala amadlebe because indawo yakhona lapha incane ngala kuni nama-drawer ngala kune-free space esincane nje sila isenta kanje kwaqhuma isibhamu then ngabaleka ngawungena
Yes.
i-bedroom.
As it went off, the sound of that gunshot deafened or almost deafened my ears. Because, you know, there was, where we were, it was a reasonably confined space there. There are drawers the side, so there isn't much of the movement in that spot where the gunshot went off. Uthi wenza njani wabaleka wena?
ngabaleka ngawungena ekamereni.
I then ran and got myself into the bedroom.
Yeah, just a minute. Now, where did the gun go off?
Isibhamisisa Tumelo kuphi?
I think besiqhuma la kitchen because emva kokuqhuma kwaso bekukhala imsindo tswi emadlebeni engingabaleka ngakungena ekamereni.
I think it went off in the kitchen because after it went off, there was that a beeping sound or a lasting beeping sound in the ears.
Yes, the ringing sound.
The ringing, sorry, the ringing sound in the ears, yes. That's when I ran into the bedroom.
Can you just indicate where you heard the sound of the firearm?
Ungasibonisa-ke ukuthi wena-ke isibhamu wasizwa ukuphi okay.
Asizwa ngikhona la kitchen and for sure besiqhuma around khona la kitchen ukuthi umuntu besiqhuma because besingesingivala amadlebe besikude kakhulu.
It went off right inside of the kitchen there, around the spot in the kitchen there. It wouldn't have, went off outside of the kitchen. Otherwise, it would not also have deafened my ears like that after it went off.
Yes, and to which room did you then run to?
Why kweyiphi room?
Ngakwelile amaroom akhona nje lapha endlini. I think mawuhamba ngepassage lika right ngathi kuqinile.
I went to one of the rooms in the house there. If you walking through the passage there, I should think it is the one on the right. A light has been shown on the room on the right, the second one on the right.
Yeah, ile festera la. Ngathi ngifuna ukuphuma ngalo la kanti ngamabhakla akade.
Now there's a window right there. A light has been shown where the window was. I actually wanted to exit through that window. I realized that there are burglar guards on that window, so I couldn't.
If photo 2 can be shown of Exhibit D. Are you able to point out that bedroom wherein you ran?
Yeah, ile because ngalunguza ngelindi la ngifuna ukuphuma ngathothi kunamabhakla.
Now that is the very window that I'm referring to. That's the bedroom I was in, because I peeked through the window and I realized there were burglar guards because I wanted to exit the house through that window there.
Yes, what happened further?
Then emva kwalokho ngiyivalelela ngathatha ifoni yami because mongena umnyango le camera mase ngingaphakathi ngathatha ifoni yami ngala ka mongena umnyango umbhedu kwa left bekulela umntana ka Senzo lapho so wayesevukile umntwana ngazama ukuthatha ifoni ngiyifake because ngala ka right kunempahla nezingubo ezazingala ka right ayifanga phansi kwalezo ingubo lezo.
Then I took my phone and hid it under the blankets. You know, when you access that particular room, on the left there's a bed, and the Senzo's child was lying on that bed. He was already awake during that time. And I should think that it was because of the commotion or the noise that was taking place that woke the child up. And then there were blankets that were stacked on the right.
Yes.
There were blankets that were stacked on the right, and then I took my phone and push it or shoved it underneath the blankets that were stacked there, tucked it underneath the blankets that were there.
And just place the name of Senzo's child on record.
Igama lengane kaSenzo bani?
uThingo.
Tingo.
Yes, you may continue.
Ongaqhubeka.
Futhi emva kwesikhashana nje ngiyivalele lapho angiyeza ukuthi hayi sekukhuluma nje abantu nje basekho labantu ngaphakathi.
Now, after a while, since I had closed or locked myself in there, I could hear that now there weren't those people that were causing the commotion initially. People were just talking now, normally talking.
Yes.
Then emva kwesikhashana nje ngathi ngiyawuvula umnyango wakhona uvuleki.
Now, after a while, I tried to open the door. That door could not open.
Ngashaya isicapha ngamemeza ukuthi ngicela bangivulele.
And I knocked the door, and I also shouted that they should open for me.
Yes.
But angisazi noma ngivulela ngespoon or bangivulela ngomesi because lo mnyango awuvuleki uma ungaphakathi. So umuntu wayengaphandle ongivula kana ngespoon noma umesi nawusebenzisa ukuthi angivulele lapho.
I don't know who the person was. I should think it was Mtogo. Mtogo is the one that could have opened the door for me, because once you are inside of that bedroom, that door is not easy for it to be opened from inside. So he had to use some instrument, a utensil. It could have been a knife or a spoon that he had used so that he can try and open that door from outside.
Yes.
So mayiqeda ungivulela umthobo mangiphuma ngiyabona wonke umuntu manje ongazuthi usemangele nje in mangithi ngiyaqhamuka usenzo ulele edaningi ulele ungathi ungene ngale side ngathi ubecasha ulele between usofa ne stand ungene nje kanje.
Now, when I got out,
le part nje yakhe wangathi le ngathi ungene ngale side le kanje between stand ne sofa lo ngala behleli khona umakakhe.
Now, when I got out, it appeared people were startled of what had happened there. And Senzo somehow was lying between the couch and the stand and the TV stand, with the left-hand part of his body, as though he was trying to get himself between or into that space that is between the couch and as well as the TV stand.
Photo 65 of Exhibit D will be shown to you. If you can use that photo to illustrate your evidence.
Sizosebenzisa leso sithombe ke photo 65 ukuthi uzame nje ukusidobela umfanekiso wobufakazi bakho.
Awayileli la usenzo la wayengene ngekamzimba nje inyawo zazingala but ikhanda nesifuba kwakungala la ikhoneni ngathi ubekacasha kanje.
Now, this is where Senzo was. And my Lord, I need to also indicate that the witness is getting emotional now. This is the very spot.
Yes. I think it would be appropriate time to take this short agenda.
20 minutes.